Hey everyone, my name is Eric Dominguez and I am a communication and confidence speaker, trainer, and consultant. And today I'm gonna stress you out. I'm gonna teach you the most stressful speaking drill that I run for myself and for my clients. And you may be wondering why. Why would I want to stress myself out with a speaking drill? Well, there's a few reasons. First, if you watched my video last week, we talked about how there's no way to eliminate speaking anxiety. It's part of our biology. It's part of our DNA. When we have a high stakes speaking situation, we automatically respond in fight, flight, or freeze mode. So we're always going to have that adrenaline surge, which clouds up our brain and prevents us from speaking the way that we want to speak. But we can rewire our brain to remind ourselves that even though this feels dangerous, we've done it before and we have survived. And just that fact alone will do, as I said in my previous video, transform fear into fuel. So here's what you're gonna need for this activity. Number one is you're gonna need an internet connection because you're gonna go to a website. Number two, you're gonna need some sort of a stopwatch. And number three, which is optional, you're gonna want an audience member. Now, that's not necessarily required. It's just more effective if you're speaking in front of another human being. And it's also more fun because while this is really stressful, it's actually a great time with other people. If you can't find someone or you don't necessarily want to do it with anyone, it's totally okay to do it on your own. And here's the really great thing about this activity. It only takes 5 minutes. That's it. 5 minutes in your week, and you're gonna see your confidence skyrocket, not just in speaking, but in all of the conversations that you have. So here we go. You're gonna go to ratespeeches.com. It's called Impromptu Topics Generator. And this website does exactly what it claims it does. It randomizes general topics. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna set a timer. I like to set my timer for 1 minute and 10 seconds. That gives me time to go to the website, hit the button that will generate the topic, and it also gives me a few seconds to kind of gather my thoughts and give me a good starting point to my speech. You're gonna speak on whatever topic comes up first. If you know something about it, awesome. If you don't know anything about it, also awesome. The key is to keep talking, keep talking, keep talking. And you also can level up this activity and minimize as many filler words or awkward pauses as possible. So I'm gonna mirror this activity for us, and then I'm gonna explain to you some of the strategies to approach it. So I ran this drill a few different times, and we're only gonna show you one. The reason why we're only going to show you one right now is because I wanted you to see what it was like to get a topic that I didn't really know a whole lot about. The first few times that I ran this topic generator, and you can watch how it generates random topics, the topics were completely in my wheelhouse. So much so that they were topics that I address in my keynotes. So I felt like I was kind of cheating by taking those topics. I still ran the exercise, and you're welcome to watch it at the end of this video, but we're just going to watch the one that I felt I knew the least about. Here it goes. Labor Day. It's an interesting concept that we have one day a year that we celebrate Labor Day. It's a date that we have off. It's a day that we are allowed to rest. Isn't that unique that we only have one day a year, Monday through Friday, that is designated to celebrate the fact that we're doing a good job? What are we doing the other 364 days out of that year? Why aren't we resting more? You know, as I practiced and learned CrossFit, my intention was to improve as much as possible, as fast as possible. So I thought if I worked harder than everyone else, I would get better than everyone else. And then I started to realize that rest is just as productive as the workouts themselves. If we don't rest and relax, we're not able to be charged. There's the time. All right. So that was a topic that I didn't quite know as much about. And there's a lot of self-conscious thoughts in my head of, wait, what is Labor Day about? Is it actually a day to celebrate whether or not we're working? I'm not quite sure. I've forgotten or I've blocked it off of my memory. But the key was for me to continue to speak. So I want to give you a few strategies if you're choosing to use this very stressful but very effective drill. Strategy number one is connect with what you do know. You may not know a whole lot about the topic, but the first question you should ask yourself is, how have I experienced this topic? And in that, you can start to formulate your experience and your story behind that. With the Labor Day example that I used, while I was a little bit unsure of the origins of Labor Day, which I'm going to find out at this point, I still knew that it was a day off. And I started to consider, when do I need to take off? When do I need to rest? What is the purpose behind that? So I started my communication in that direction. That's tip number one. Tip number two is to slow down. Our minds are always going to be working much faster than our mouths. And when we have an adrenaline surge, when we are stressed out, it actually just accelerates that process. Our minds work double time and our mouth gets all caught up. We think that the faster we talk and the more content we speak out, that the more effective we will be. And that's just not right. In fact, the slower and clearer you are, the more effective you will be. Tip number three, have fun. I know that might seem a little bit light, but again, we're rewiring the neural pathways in our brain. You're never going to encounter this situation. You're never going to be asked in your office, hey, I need you to come talk about a topic that you don't know about, and we need you to talk for an extended amount of time, and we need you to do that right now. That's not generally going to happen to you. It feels like that's the case when we get the email from somebody that says, hey, come see me. Or we get the request that, hey, I want you to talk about 1, 2, and 3 at tomorrow's meeting. It feels the same. It feels that you start to feel that stress, that anxiety building. If you have fun with these impromptu speeches, if you slow down, if you tell a story, if you make fun of yourself, if you make fun of the topic, if you just have a joking fun time, especially if you have an audience of one, then you're able to retrain the brain and recognize, number one, this isn't going to happen to me. Number two, I'm totally safe. And number three, it's going to train your brain and your mouth to be able to communicate exactly what you get to communicate, even in that stressful environment. I'd love to hear from you. What are some of those high stakes, stressful speaking opportunities that you have that you feel like this activity, that the world is crashing in around you, that you're supposed to talk about something right this second? Go ahead and put those in the comments. I would absolutely love to respond to those and to learn from you and to comment on it. And as always, don't forget to subscribe for more content on communications, confidence, and storytelling. See you again next time.